What's up, guys? It's your boy Trev coming at you today with the tier list. All right, guys. Yeah, I've been away for a bit, but I felt like I knew the buffs and the patch updates were coming, and I would save the a tier list, my first tier list, for when the buffs come through. And as expected, the assault rifles got touched quite a lot. I'm not addressing the SMGs or any of the other weapons that got touched in this. I'm specifically focusing on the assault rifles because these tend to be the go-to for everyone. When you just jump into a shooter, 9 times out of 10, I think people immediately gravitate towards picking up an assault rifle and just, laying it down, laying down the load, going in hard. Don't take that out of context. So, way to explain my thinking on the tier list is S tier is not definitively S tier amongst all the weapons. And I will get to that later. But S tier would be within the class. Standout of a standout, plural, whatever, of the group. They are pretty much the top of. It doesn't mean that they cannot be better. It just means that they can they stand out among the rest. And overall, you can use them in pretty much any situation and gain great value out of them. A tier performs really well. You can use them easily. They've got a few downsides that are worth considering. That really, I'm not going to go much more into that. B tier, kind of middle of the road, where they're good. You can have a good time with them. They might be a little bit loadout dependent in order to feel great. Um, but you can still use them. C tier, quite a few downsides. It's starting to get to the point where you're kind of LARPing at this point. I'm just gonna cut it short. And D tier is absolutely, if you're using this gun, you're doing it for the memes, you're LARPing. That's just that's just the way I see a D tier weapon is it needs you can use there are so much more better options. You're putting yourself at a disadvantage using this thing unless you're dropping the difficulty where you can use it. There's too many downsides for me to say that this is good. Um, Let me put it that way. If you disagree with my opinions, that's cool. I'm happy for you. We all have our own opinions. You're entitled to your own wrong opinion. JK, not JK. Um, this is just for shits and giggles. This is just for fun. This is just my opinion. I'm not the absolute goat of understanding what are the best weapons. I have a greater understanding on what works for higher tier gameplay. Another note, this is with my experience playing uh, difficulty 10. I've been predominantly playing solo, so I'm looking at it from that perspective. If these guns are, if there's a gun that is great in a solo run, it can easily be used in team play. I think team play at difficulty 10 is easy these days. But yeah, that's just me. So we'll just jump straight in. Um, the Liberator. This is just going straight to B tier. It is standard issue. It's got good damage, can take attachments, decent accuracy. I think it could still do with a little bit more damage or better ammo because I still find that the gun runs out of ammo quite often. It's a little bit annoying. I'm not going to lie. I wish I wish it could just get a little step further because I think you know what I'm going to talk about. The Coyote is still quite a bit ahead. Um, if you put the two next to one another, you got to ask someone which one would you use if your life depended on it. You know you're going to go straight for the Coyote. But why is that? It feels like the Liberator. It's getting there. The extra durable damage and damage that they gave the Liberator is definitely noticeable, but it's not there yet. So I'm just putting it B tier. It's totally usable. The Carbine, I'm putting that also in B tier. It shares pretty much all the same characteristics as the Liberator. We all know that. It just has an increased fire rate, which people like to call it the small ward. It feels great. I'm not gonna lie, I really enjoy it. I think it's a fun gun when you play it like that. Um, but it also still suffers with what its little brother has. But it's still good. It's not a bad gun. Let's just cut that clear. I enjoy it. I think it's fun, more fun than the standard Liberator. But the only thing separating them and why I think B tier and why I would put it like next to and slightly ahead is just that extra fire rate can be nice if you just want to burst something down a little bit quicker. You have a much lower chance of being killed while using the carbine, say when a whole lot of stalkers just overrun you. The Liberator can just take its time at times. The extra fire rate can just let those few bullets go down quicker. But okay, so now we go to the Liberator Penetrator. So I'm gonna put this slightly ahead of the Carbine. I'd say they kind of sit in between. So or next to one another. The Carbine exceeds it in terms of raw just DPS on light pen, but just knowing that you've got the medium pen of the Liberator Penetrator, you can just use it on pretty much anything. It's a safe bet, just put it that way. But the problem kind of comes in is because it's a medium pen and the way they balance it in the game is they've given it less durable damage versus light pen. So if there's like a lightly armored target and it's got quite a bit of durability to it, it's gonna really show the difference between the Carbine and the Penetrator. The Carbine is going to melt through that. If you put the Carbine up against the Penetrator and you have to see which one takes down a Brood Commander head, the Carbine is going to destroy the head. Even the standard Carbine will do better just because of the durable damage. I urge you to really go look at the Helldivers wiki and check like the durability of the durable damage of certain weapons, and then cross-reference that and look at like different targets that you may be struggling with, and you can see their different body parts and what their durability rating is. Now the concussive. People have very strong opinions with this. I hear you. I hear you. Oh, but it can work against the predator strain because you can push them back. That's cool, bro. I want to kill them. I don't want to just push them away. Okay, cool. I get it. I get it. It's that one niche scenario where maybe you could get a little bit more value. That's cool, bro. I get it. But nah, I'm putting that in C tier under the ARs. Also, it's just if you're playing against bots, right? You can't you can't get like the satisfying part about like facing the bots when the shooting devastators is you can go for the nice little headshots. You can do them the Liberator, the Carbine, the Lib Pen. You can do it on pretty much every AR bar the concussive because you shoot the first shot, the devastator starts to stagger, and now good luck, Jimmy, trying to hit that headshot. It's frustrating. Um, I don't know. Maybe they need to revert it back to like way back when and get it had a little bit of explosive damage. Could be a cool niche. We don't have an explosive AR. I don't know. I think that would be a cool idea, but that's just me. Um, the Star 52. So I'm gonna put it behind the Lib, uh, purely because yes, it's got a better rate of fire. Yes, it's got better base mag size, but it's got no no attachments, nothing. So if you put them like for like, no attachments, sure, the Star 52 is probably better, but there's no attachments. So the Liberator and the Carbine will both exceed it in the future, just having potential to have bigger mag sizes, the foregrips, the muzzle attachments, the sights. It's it's cool. I think they should probably play around with trying to create its own identity instead of making it just a reskinned Liberator with different mag size and a different fire rate. I think it needs its own identity. I think Killzone sort of deserves that sort of thing. Okay, next up, the MA5C, the Halo weapon. Now this one, I think, has had a little bit of a glow up. I have been actually enjoying it. I'm putting it up still in B, ahead of the lib pen. It it has good damage. It has got decent durable, and it's got great ergo, so it's incredibly snappy. It's a trait of all the Halo weapons. Snappy, snappy, flicky, flicky. It feels great on a mouse. Since I've started playing on a mouse and keyboard, it has been really fun uh, dealing with like more snappy weapons. And using this after the update has been a bit better, I must admit. I like the fact that they, for once, have started actually buffing these paid weapons. People paying good money for these weapons, and this one being part of the Legendary War Bond, it was really a lot of money for some people who didn't have the super credits. So it was probably incredibly disappointing. I was a bit disappointed. Um, yeah, it trades blows with the Adjudicator. They go blow for blow in terms of damage. The MA5C has got 2 bullets more than mag, same amount of spare mags. Nothing to run home about. I still think overall damage um, out of your total ammo pool is probably on the Judy side. And then the fact that the MA5C doesn't have any attachments is a bit of a downer. The reloading is also a little bit inconsistent and annoying. I don't like it. It can feel sluggish. I think it's probably the worst in the category. So that for me holds it a little bit back. It's still, I think it's like, it's almost there. If they could give it a little bit more ammo, maybe increase the reload speed just a little bit, maybe slightly bump up the damage a little bit more and make it just feel like it hits hard, it would feel really, really good. It would probably work against probably the bots pretty well, bugs, the Illuminates, maybe. But yeah, it's definitely gotten a bump up. I think it's better than the Penetrator, better than all the other libs, and it's getting there. I think it's getting there. Then the Adjudicator. I have always had a little soft spot for this gun. I've always kind of enjoyed it. With the attachments, recoil becomes far less of an issue and gives it much better versatility. Unfortunately, it doesn't get any mag increases or mag size increases, which sucks. But the damage is pretty good. You can clean house on the bot side. I think that's where it's probably a little bit better. It can also clean house against the bugs. The ergonomics can hold it a little bit back on that front though, but you can make it work. It's not a bad gun by any means. It's really, I think it does sit itself just above all the libs in the MA5C. Not by much, but enough that I think it warrants being a little bit higher. It's basically got the same durable damage as a Liberator, um, despite them being light pen, but it has the added slightly higher damage values on standard damage, and then medium pen. So incredibly versatile in that fashion. Then the Pacifier. I don't I don't gel with this thing. Um, it needs more damage. It needs more ammo. I don't think the stun buff did enough. Cool, you can stun something in one shot. I'm so happy for you, bro. But if you're going up against something like, if you're going up against a mass mob, right, and you go with this mentality of I'm gonna stun everything so that I can just like get my headshots in and hit those weak spots. There's so many, like when you're playing on Div 10, there's so many targets that it becomes a bit annoying just trying to manage stunning stuff. It it just is not enough. Maybe I think one or the other has to go. It needs probably either a plethora more ammo, or it needs the damage bumped up because it is significantly behind the Coyote. It is significantly behind all the other ARs. I don't like this gun. It sounds good, it looks good, but that is about it. It is doggo. I can't fathom this gun. It drives me mad. I do not like this gun. Besides aesthetics, it's I cannot. To all the peeps that really love this gun, I'm so happy for you, dude. I can't I can't run this gun. I hate it. Then the Tenderizer. Okay, so I'm gonna put this in A tier. It's got great durable damage. It is incredibly accurate. I think it is right there where it needs to be in terms of damage and accuracy, but the mag is probably the only thing that's keeping it behind from being like up there with the Coyote. It just run like 7 spare mags with 35 bullets. It just still feels not enough. I'm sure I share the exact same opinion with majority of the community that this gun does need more ammo. You just run through ammo so quickly, which is crazy. Like in a horde shooter at Div 10, you just run out of ammo and then you're relying on your secondary or your support, which is like severely limiting. But what more can we do? Then the Coyote. This is in S tier for a reason, and it's because it's just pretty much got nearly no weaknesses. It's got good accuracy, it's got attachments, it's medium pen, and the ammo economy can be very good. That's if you're utilizing the fact that you're setting targets on fire and you're letting the fire either tick them off or add the extra damage to replace the 2 or 3 bullets you could have added on them, and it will just blow its way through pretty much any faction. You can use this on any faction, any difficulty, and you can get value out of it. That's what's great. Its only downside is probably because, and I know they did this by design, and I'm not against it. It has got lower durable damage than any other AR in the game. The So it can feel a little bit like it's just shooting marshmallows at a Brood Commander's head. If you're not letting the fire tick off Brood Commander, Alpha Commander, and you're just trying to kill it, take the head off with just raw damage, something like the Lib Carbine will melt through it much faster. Same for the Tenderizer. So that's the only real issue I can point out. I think it should be left where it is. It shouldn't be touched. It's great. And what I mentioned earlier in the video was the S tier in the ARs, in my opinion, does not mean it is overall an S tier gun. I think it is high A tier when you put it in the grand scheme of things against all the other guns in the game. It's just, it cannot provide the same utility and versatility that a eruptor, purifier, a crossbow, like all those guns, the explosive damage just sets them apart from the Coyote in being able to deal with CC a little bit better. in some avenues more, and then in the case of the Eruptor and the crossbow, they can also just do stuff like closing bug holes. Eruptor can kill a Hulk in the eye. Coyote can't do that. So that's why I don't think it's as overpowered as people make it out to be. I think it's great. It is such a satisfying gun to use, and I think it should be the new benchmark. And I hope the developers can kind of get this in their head that I think the Coyote needs to be the new benchmark. If you want to balance out the guns, take the Coyote, see, okay, if we want to balance out the Liberators, let's give them more damage and make them hit a little bit harder than the Coyote. Give it good ammo economy, but let the Coyote still separate itself by having, if you let the tick damage of the fire take over, if you take advantage of the fact that it's medium pen, it can be more versatile in that fashion. It is an incredibly well designed gun. I think everything is cool about it. It looks dope. It sounds cool. It's just mwah, chef's kiss. I really enjoyed this gun. I do not want them to, if they touch this thing again, I'm going to lose my shit. Put it out there. I'm going to lose my shit. I'm going to lose my shit. We don't need to nerf this thing. All right. With that being said, if you enjoyed this, like and subscribe. Okay, brother? Okay, that was aggressive. I'm sorry. I'm feeling really ADHD right now. But yeah, hope you enjoyed this one. If you disagree, don't take it too seriously. Let me know in the comments. Tell me what you think. If you think that I'm an absolute bozo, that's great. I'm happy for you, Chad. Enjoy your life. Not going to change my opinion. I'm happy to hear if anyone thinks that maybe I didn't consider a few things, but this is my experience having pretty much like 1,000 hours in Helldivers playing Div 10 solo. This is what I this is my opinion. Okay, cool. I'm rambling on. Cheers.